Hey Paul, what's up, man? I know this is an old video to respond to, but I'm kind of a new fan of yours. Just started watching your videos, and I wanted to respond to this film because I was having this whole like Paul's Ego marathon thing today, and I came across this one, and it was kind of a cool idea, and it gave me an excuse to make a new film, which I've been wanting to do for a while now. So and plus I kind of want to tell this story because I like telling the story. It's kind of cool, so yeah, let's just get right into it. Story that you'll never believe. I still don't believe it. So let's see where to start. So that's the setting of this whole story. It's called CYS. It's Children and Youth Services. It's a place where children in the state's custody come to be cared for. Kids that are taken away from their parents for various reasons. So when I first started working there, I was taken over for this older guy who worked the graveyard shift, and I don't know if he was retiring or something. I don't know. But anyways, I was working the graveyard shift, and basically, I'm a counseling technician, or was a counseling technician, where I'm there for the kids to care for the kids and whatnot. But really, also since it's a graveyard shift, the kids are all sleeping, so I'm pretty much cleaning up the whole building. I'm basically a glorified janitor, really. So anyways, so when I first got there, the guy's training me, he's showing me the ropes, but also he's telling me all these crazy ass ghost stories, and I'm a skeptical person. I don't believe in ghosts. I've heard a million stories, and I don't believe that shit. I've never seen anything that made me feel like ghosts could possibly exist. So he's telling me all these stories and everything. And for the first 2 weeks that I worked there, being told all these crazy stories and how haunted this place is, I worked there for 2 weeks by myself on graveyard shift, and nothing. Didn't get jack, So, my skeptical side is saying, yeah, you're right, it's a bunch of bullshit. But later on, I got not transferred, but moved to a different shift, and I started, working with the kids more and everything. I worked from 4:00 p.m. until midnight. That was my new shift. And so anyways, this one night, we're sitting there. It's it's a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary, and it's getting late, so all the kids have gone to bed already. It's about 10 o'clock, at night, and so most of the kids are already asleep. There's a couple high school kids, probably, a couple high school kids still awake, and watching TV and whatnot. Just a mellow evening, and we get this phone call, and I pick up the phone, and it's this lady, and this lady's basically telling me, we just drove by your building. And it's a small town, so everybody knows what building it is and everything. So she tells me, we just drove by your building, and at the very end window, the last window on the left, there was 2 kids hanging from the window. So I throw it on the phone, and I'm freaking out because we just got these 2 new kids, these 2 new boys that had just got admitted, and they were, let's say, mischievous. That's the best way to put it, I guess. Anyways, so I throw it on the phone, and I run to their bedroom, and they're crashed out, like snoring, crashed out. They've been out for a long time, you could tell, and then also I realized when I got to their bedroom that their bedroom isn't on the end of the building like the caller had said. Well, at the time, we have 5 rooms in the building, right? 5 bedrooms. At one end of the building, the farthest end to the right, we had a baby. Okay. Just a baby by himself in his crib. At The other end of the building, we had three girls, three young girls. Well, the caller said they saw two boys hanging from the window. So, and they said the farthest left. Well, the farthest left from looking at the building would have been the baby's room. All right, and I mean, it's obvious that the baby's not going to hang from the window, and you know, I went and checked that room anyways, make sure that there was nobody in there. But I mean, all the kids were accounted for. I checked every single bedroom. Every kid was fast asleep that was supposed to be asleep, and who the ones that were awake were in the living room watching TV. So that was that. I have to document everything. I documented. It was really weird. I thought maybe some kids from outside had climbed up and hung from the window, which is completely possible, you know. But then when you think about the building, if you see the building, it's the windows are so far from the ground that it's pretty impossible that kids could have got up that high and hung from it. It didn't make any sense. So, I mean, I wrote it down. It just seemed like kind of a weird thing, not a big deal. Just maybe a prank call, or you know, somebody just mistaken. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. A couple hours later, my shift ends, and the new people come on to do the graveyard shift, and we have to break down everything that happened during the evening for them, anything of any kind of significance, and we made a quick mention of that incident, but it was we didn't talk about it for very long because it just seemed kind of weird and stupid and meaningless, you know. So we take off. So the next day comes and goes without incident, and like later that night, the graveyard shift comes back on again, and this is where it gets all crazy. The graveyard shift comes on again, and they have a story for us this time. They say that all of last night, the night that that incident happened, the phone call and all that, they heard talking coming from the baby's room. Now, the baby is in a room by himself, so I mean that's a little strange. So they went and checked on the baby. The baby is asleep, but all through the night they keep hearing this talking, and they're looking in every single room, and everybody's asleep, and it becomes obvious to them that the talking is coming from the baby's room. There's no doubt about it. He actually put a chair outside of the baby's room and sat out there and listened and could hear two voices and like little like footsteps and claps and laughter of like two kids, alright? And there's nobody in there. But every hour is supposed to open the door for the kids and check on the kids, make sure everything's cool. And so later on in the evening, the guy that had heard all these voices coming from the baby's room, still hearing voices from the baby's room, opens up the door and sees the baby sitting in the crib with his arms stretched, pointed outwards towards the window like he's asking to be held. And this baby, whenever he saw anybody, whenever he was awake and saw anybody, he would always do that. He would hold his arms out and want to be held. And anytime that he was awake and we would open the door, he would automatically turn his head and look at us and stretch his arms out for us to hold him. But this time, the guy opened the door, and the baby didn't even acknowledge that he was there. He just stayed focused towards the window, holding his arms, towards nothing, right? Fucking crazy, right? I mean, that's just kind of crazy, We get a call that there's kids hanging from a window, and then later on in the evening, that room has got voices in it, and the baby seeing somebody and wanting to be held by somebody that's not there. So, and we heard plenty of other stories about crazy stuff going on in that building, and I'd never seen anything else or had any other reason to believe that there was something else going on. But I mean, that story that always like freaked me out. Whenever I even think about it, I get goosebumps, and like right now I got goosebumps. So that's my story that you won't believe. But yeah, other than that, thanks for the videos. Keep them coming. Love them. Peace out.